Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 4. Hamlet and Horatio accompany Marcellus on his watch. They walk throughout the battlements of Eleanor Castle on a cold night. Near midnight, they hear much revelry from within the castle. This surprises Horatio and disgusts Hamlet. Hamlet remarks that the king is drinking and partying again. He talks about how such wild behavior has given Denmark a righteous reputation, taking away the country's strength and positive qualities. With that, Denmark is slandered and blamed by other nations, calling them drunkards and pigs. Hamlet carries the thought further, talking about how one's faults can overwhelm all the positive afterpoots one has. The scene shifts sharply with the appearance of the ghost. Hamlet is then frightened by the ghost, and that it indeed appears to be his father. He begs the ghost to speak to him and tell him why he has come. In response, the ghost beckons Hamlet to come away with him, which Hamlet is eager to do. Horatio cautions Hamlet not to follow the spirit, fearing it is dangerous. Both Horatio and Marcellus try to stop Hamlet from following, but the prince is determined. He breaks free and follows the ghost. Horatio and Marcellus, in turn, follow Hamlet. The overall importance is that it comes to show that there is unrest in Denmark over the loss of a king, and his ghost foreshadows more unknown information. The scene fits into the play because Shakespeare uses this moment to introduces a few ideas and themes that allow to fit in with the drama. The first being Hamlet's sadness over the loss of his father, which, when Horatio cautions him about following the ghost, Hamlet scoffs, "I do not set my life at a pin's fee." This notion of to be or not to be will grow louder with each scene, although whether or not Hamlet has the fortitude for action also becomes a point of contention. In addition, it is the first reference of Hamlet's madness when Horatio, trying to dissuade Hamlet from following the ghost, suggests it might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness. Whether real or pretend, this is a central theme throughout the play. Characters. In this scene, Hamlet is grieving the loss of his father and disgusted by King Claudius's actions. He is then frightened by his father's ghost when he is out with Horatio and Marcellus on the battlements of Eleanor Castle. Horatio comes to check up on Hamlet after the death of his father and shows his love and concern. He sees the ghost before and is there when Hamlet sees it. Horatio watches out for Hamlet and gives him advice to not go with the ghost. Marcellus. He's a sentinel who had first seen the ghost with Bernardo. His role was to offer commentary, such as advice to Hamlet when the ghost appears. Ghost. The restlessness of the king's ghost signifies the unrest in Denmark. The ghost beckons Hamlet forward to pull aside and talk. Quote, "Something is rotten in the state of Denmark." This quote means that in Denmark, certain things are going wrong from what they're supposed to be, and Marcellus knows this. Things that are going wrong include the king being killed, Claudius taking over, Hamlet's madness, all the excessive partying going on, and foreshadowing the invasion of Fortinbras. The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold. It is a nipping and an eager air. What hour now? I think it lacks of 12.
No, it already struck.
Indeed, I hear it not. Season draws near. What does this mean, my lord? The king doth wake tonight, and takes his ruse, keeps wassail, and the swaggering upstringing ring, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge. Is it a custom? Aye, marry, is it? But to my mind, though I am native here, and to the manner born, it is a custom. More honored in the breach than the observance, this heavy-headed reveal east and west makes us traduced and taxed of other nations. They clep us drunkards, and with Swinish phrase soil our edition. And indeed, it takes from our achievements, though performed at height, the pitch and marrow of our attribute. So oft it chances in particular men, that for some vicious mole of nature in them, as in their birth, by the overgrowth of some complexion, or by some habit that too much o'erleavens the form of plausive manners, that these men, carrying, I say, the stamp of one defect, being nature's livery or fortune's star, his virtues else, be they as pure as grace, as infinite as man may overdo, shall in the general consensure take corruption from that particular fault, the dram of evil doth all the noble substance of a doubt to his own scandal. Look, my lord, it comes. Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned, bring with thee heirs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intent wicked or charitable, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane, oh answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why they canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements, why the sepulchre hath opened his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again. What may this mean? That thou, dead corse, again in complete steel, revisits thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous, and we, fools of nature, so horridly to shake our disposition, with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls, say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do? It beckons you to go away with it, as if some impertinent did desire to you alone.
It wants you to go to a bad place. Don't go.
No, by no means. It does not speak. I will follow it. Do not go, my lord. Why? What is there to fear? It waves me forward. I will follow it. Tempt you towards the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles over his base to the sea, and they assume some other horrible form, which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness. Think of it. The very place puts toys of desperation without mere motive into every brain that looks so like fathoms to the sea and hears it to beneath. It waves me on still. I will follow it.
You shall not go, my lord.
Your hands. Be ruled, you shall not go. My fate cries out. I cannot deny it. Stay. I'll go forth. He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. Don't listen to him.
What issue will come of it?
Something is wrong in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
No, let's follow.